What is going on, my friends, and welcome back to another video here on the channel. Well, Jasmy's price has been making a lot of the big moves that we've been hoping for recently, and as its price is starting to pull back a little bit today, a lot of you are wondering what's going on, what does this mean for the price, and is anything good or bad happening? So today I'm like, you know what, I'm noticing some pretty good bullish signals from Jasmy as its price is pulling back a little bit, so I wanted to share them with you today and kind of just let you know what I think this could mean for Jasmy's price as we do move forward. And so with that said, let's not waste any more time at all, and let's get straight into it. And guys, don't forget, if you do want to start trading some Jasmy and many other cryptos on all the way up to 500x leverage, you can check out that BTCC link down below. If you do sign up specifically with my link down below, they're going to give you a 10% bonus on all first-time deposits between $500 and $100,000. This means if you deposit, say, $4,000, they're going to give you $400 on the spot to start trading with. And whatever profit you generate from that $400 is all yours, no strings attached. This is literally an opportunity to generate free gains during a bull market. I don't know how much longer I'm going to have this opportunity, so feel free to go take advantage of it down below. I really like the platform. It's a great trading platform that's been around for a long time, so feel free to go check it out and let me know what you think. Now, let me kind of catch you up on what we talked about with Jasmy yesterday, so you'll start to understand why what I'm talking about today is so important. So as many of you know, over the last few days, and yesterday specifically, we've been talking about this beautiful move that Jasmy's been making to the top side. My primary focus recently has been the fact that Jasmy's price broke the golden zone, and by breaking the golden zone, it opens up the door of opportunity for any crypto, and specifically Jasmy, to start pushing up to what's called Fibonacci extension levels. Put simply, this meant that the moment that we saw Jasmy clear this golden box, based on the Fibonacci tool, we opened up the door to see its price go from 6 cents to all the way to 8.5 cents, somewhere around this range. Now, of course, that is exactly what we started getting. We saw Jasmy's price break the white line, break the previous high, come all the way up and touch right on the nose, that bottom side of that range that we were talking about, giving a full execution to this breakout target. And as a result of hitting this thing so perfectly, what we talked about in yesterday's video was, hey, it might pull back a bit, it might cool down a little bit. We just saw a beautiful extension. People are going to take profits. We're going to see people starting to, kind of rotate money a little. So don't be surprised if we start pulling back. And if we do, this is what I'm doing. So what I told you is I had set out two different buy zones, the 4.5 cent level and the 3.3 cent level. These are the three most, important points of resistance that we've had recently. And I think one of these zones will hold up as support and try to force Jasmy's price upwards in pursuit of that 8.5 cent level. And so because of that, I told you, look, I'm not very stressed out whatsoever. I like the fact that we're seeing Jasmy pull back a bit, let it come back down towards some of these key levels of support. And I think it'll definitely give it a good try at continuing upwards, putting in some, very, very, very strong highs sometime soon here. Now that does take us to today, which we are seeing that pullback somewhat continue, and as it is continuing, we are getting some very, very bullish signs from a bunch of our different indicators, and that's what I want to focus on today. So now that you understand how we got here and what we've been looking at, let's talk about why what we're seeing over the last day or so is actually starting to point in a very bullish direction, that we could be right in seeing some type of bounce towards the upside soon. Now, if you are somebody, and I'm just going to give you a quick warning, if you are somebody who's new to this whole crypto scene, some of the things I might say in this video are going to be a little confusing. So if you are someone who's brand new and you're trying to get better at all this and understand all this a little bit more, or maybe you're even on the opposite side of that spectrum and you're very advanced, but you want to start adding some of these tools to your own toolbox, all that I ask specifically from those of you trying to just get better is to wait until the end of the video, or skip to the end of the video. At the end of the video, I'm going to tell you about what's happening over in the Discord server, because the lessons, the classes, the workshops, the courses, all of these things that we're putting out over there are leading our community to generate hundreds of percentages in gains every single day. These are people who are actively getting a lot better, and while getting better, making a lot more money. So if you want to be a part of this, if you want to join this, either wait or skip to the end of the video, because I'm going to tell you all about it. Okay. Now, focusing in on Jasmy, what I want to actually do is go down to the 4-hour charts. The 4-hour charts start to paint a very, very good picture here. So remember, let me just put it in your head again. The primary focus for Jasmy right now is to pull back and cool down, allow the bulls to reset, and as the bears do start pushing the price lower, we want to see the bulls start stepping in when it's important, so that inevitably or eventually we see the price hold a higher low and then continue upwards. The goal here is for the bulls to step in and for the bears to win a little while we see the price cool down and correct, so that we can try to continue upwards, just like SWE did, for example, just to show you this, right? We saw SWE. Bad boy came all the way up here. Boom, no, that is not what I meant to do. Let's get that back. Boom. Came all the way up here and had to cool down a little bit and reset. And then we saw SWE make that move, and then it starts pushing upwards. We want to see a cool down and a reset of somewhat similar nature, if that makes any sense. So with that goal in mind and knowing that, what I want to start pointing out are a few of the very good signs that I'm getting that show that what we want to see is actually happening. So first and foremost, from a shorter term perspective, what we can see is that on the short term time frames, I don't know what perspective is, by the way. From a short term perspective, what you can see is that we're finally seeing Jasmy's price interacting with its first major little liquidity zone on this hourly time frame. As you can see here, as Jasmy's price was coming upwards, we put in a bunch of liquidity in this zone right here from these highs to these lows, and you can see it just by this chop. And what you can do is you can draw two white lines in between those two levels, and you can identify this as a liquidity zone. And what happened is that as Jasmy's price ventured down towards this zone, you can see the bulls finally started stepping in. They bought there, holding the price up very well here, and even as the price is going down, we're seeing that momentum kind of waning because the bulls are still a little bit active right here as well. And so what this means on the shortest time frames realistically is that the bulls are they're being willing to step in at these shorter term time frames and on these shorter perspectives in these moments where it's not even so significant. We don't really need them to step in here, but they are stepping in here, and that's a good sign. Now, in addition to that, what you can see is if we go to something like our RSI, this is giving us some of the most bullish signs that you're going to see today. What we can see is that Jasmy's 4-hour RSI is in full-blown reset mode. It went from, of course, all the way up here around that 86 level all the way down to currently around the 55 level, and is still continuing lower. Now, what's amazing about this is that as we are seeing its 4-hour RSI reset, it's giving us very clear bullish divergence. What you can see here is that Jasmy's price itself has been pretty consistently putting up higher lows, right? Low, higher low, higher low. You see it, right? So we're going upwards. But look what's happening with the RSI. The RSI has started to do the opposite. The RSI from this low and from this low right here, both of which are now creating lower lows. And so what this means is that we are seeing more of a macro reset for Jasmy. It's a little bit different than what we saw here and what we saw here. And as a result of that, we're seeing Jasmy's RSI reset to levels in which the last time it was there was back here. The last time Jasmy's RSI was where it is right now would have been, let's see, yeah, right here in this zone before we saw its price start trying to push up, 150%. And so what this means is that we're giving ourselves the reset that we needed. Remember, the goal is to get a reset, to get a cool down, to get a natural pullback that will allow for a continuation. And what the RSI is telling us is that that is exactly what is happening. The bulls are resetting, your indicators are cooling off, and when that happens, usually you're going to find a macro point of support, and all that is going to change. Momentum is going to shift back in the direction of the bulls, and then we're going to try to see these cryptos try to push back towards the upside. Now, if we do want to add in a couple more indicators, let's go to our Bollinger Bands, and we can kind of see what's happening here. On the 4-hour charts, we've already seen, let's actually clear all this off for now. We can see that Jasmy is all the way back at its 20 simple moving average. Generally speaking, when Jasmy is above the red line, it's overbought. When it's below the green line, it's oversold. But when it's at the blue line, it's at a good point of neutrality. It's reset very well from either being overbought or oversold. And so what this means is that, sure, its price could continue lower, but we're finally in a spot to where we're not overextended, and many of our simple moving averages have finally corrected on the shorter term time frames, just meaning that, again, the pullback and the cool down we're looking for is in full effect. And so considering the fact that these indicators are resetting at the same time that the bulls are willing to step in at these little important key levels of liquidity, it tells me that we're very likely right. In the sense that even if Jasmy's price does want to continue down a little bit further, that we're probably going to find some support and give a damn good shot at trying to push towards the upside. And sure, if the whole market shifts, if really bad news hits the market, maybe we never get this move up here. But at this point, that's not what we're seeing. At this point, what we're seeing is a good, healthy, natural correction and cool down that should, in my opinion, lead to some sort of continuation upwards. So I really do like what I'm seeing here from Jasmy. I'm getting a lot of bullish signals, and I do believe this is going to lead us to some sort of growth. Just got to give it enough time. So very good stuff here, and of course I will continue to update you as Jasmy does play out, but I wanted to show you those bullish signals and give you a little bit of context as to why they're so important. Now, as I mentioned before, if you are somebody who is trying to get a grasp on all this crypto stuff and just trying to get better, I really highly recommend you come check out the Discord server. If you want to check out the Discord server, all you need to do is head down to the Patreon link down below, and you have a few options. But one way or another, it is the cost of a Netflix subscription or cheaper. $17 a month or $5 a month gets you access in the Discord server, which gets you insights with Tyler. These are some of my buys and sells and trades that I make every now and then, things that I'm thinking, guidance, advice, random stuff, just my own personal feed from me to the community. Daily technical analysis reports throughout the week on all your favorite cryptos. Daily fundamental analysis reports throughout the week on the market itself. I've hired 2 professional teams of traders to give their buy and sell signals every day that they're trading. Guys, these are people who rely on trading to put food on their tables, and they're giving you their buy and sell signals to make that happen. We just made an announcement that we're going to have an exclusive show, Crypto Vault Live, Monday through Friday, in which Crypto Moses is going to take you 30 minutes through the crypto market and what all is going on. Premium classes on things like bull market investing, the Fibonacci's, the Bollinger Bands, and more. We have live streams with Crypto Atlas on things like a beginner's guide to XRP, and many more workshops coming multiple times a month. I have beginner's courses on things like technical analysis and leverage trading. These are 30 minutes long, 20-page presentations with cheat sheets and all types of stuff to help you learn the basics to all these things. And then Tyler's tips, which are just 2 to 3 minute long videos on random things you need help with. All of this value that we're providing, again, for the cost of a Netflix subscription or cheaper, is allowing for our community to generate insane gains. I mean, this is just in the last 12 hours, hundreds of percentages in gains, guys, because again, people are learning lessons, using those lessons to develop strategies, and using those strategies to turn it into a profit. I mean, we're only at yesterday at 5 p.m. and all those gains that you're seeing are generated there, hundreds of percentages in gains. So again, if you want to be a part of that, go check out that Patreon down below, and don't forget you can get that bonus over on BTCC if you do sign up with my link specifically. But as I mentioned before, I will continue to update you as this all does play out for Jasmy, so just make sure that you do stick around, stay tuned, and turn on those notifications when you do subscribe, and I can't wait to see you all in the next one. Peace out, everybody.